so I can see at the leading edge of the cut. And I'm going to try and probably clip off as much as I can some of the burrs, or flashing as you might call it. A little bit of that, because we want it as smooth as possible. We don't have emery cloth or anything else that we're trying to make this but we have to do this very fast. This is about 20 to 22 seconds. Oh yes, you better be quick about this.
So it has to be processed and bleed to death so quickly and get it sealed?
Yes.
What did you do to stop them?
Oh, I'm reaching down to the boiling oil or the hot iron. Cauterize. I'm going to close off or use the oil as quickly as possible and sear all of that closed. If it was an officer, and depending on the tourniquet up above that's being loosened and hardened, loosened and hardened. Officers, sometimes we would ligature the arteries and veins, but more often than not, we were always going down here, always second guessing the idea of blood loss. Again, the person has been up on the table originally, and we know that there has been a fracture of the joint. And that's not going to heal, no matter how much of a splint you put on, it's never going to heal. From the time of the exploratory surgery, an hour after that, we bring them back on the table. Oh, but before we did the exploratory, we bloodlet them 3 or 4 ounces. Yes. Okay. And then we go and redress the wound an hour after the surgery, and we take 3 or 4 more ounces of blood. You know, and the blood we're dumping on the ground. Balancing of the humors. We have to replace the bad air, bad humor, evil spirit, whatever they're saying it is, depending on what religion we're involved in at the time. And we're, with the best of intentions, starting to promote good health. 1776, this book, one of the best surgical books of that period, and twice at the beginning of the American Revolution, twice in this book, it mentions the name Hippocrates, and it's not about his oath to do no harm. It's about the balancing of the humors. Okay, so anyway, 3 or 4 days, 5 days at the most, the person drifts into unconsciousness. We take off their arm or their leg. We close everything up. Within 2 or 3 hours after that, we are starting to redress, we're starting to redress the stump. Every time we redress the stump, we have to help them with good health, right? So we have to take another 2 or 3 or 4 ounces of blood and dump it on the grass as we redress the wound, the stump. Oh, you know, maybe I didn't go through enough of this. Well, this fleam, or set of lancets, are from largest to smallest inside of, or behind the knee, I should say, behind the knee. And if you're laying on the surgical table, very easy, we're going to prop the leg up a little bit and cut under the knee and let the blood drip down into the porringer. Or we're going to go behind the elbow, the inside the elbow, or the one that Jones really recommends, the surgeon recommends this, and that is up behind the ear on the jugular vein. You know, you have about 1/3 of your blood in your brain at any given instant, and it's being forced up and then down towards your heart. And what we want to do is, we don't want to cut below the earlobe. Well, that's a bad idea. Any large cat that wants to consider you for a meal will probably cut your jugular down here, in which case, it's just a mess and things don't go well at all. But up behind the ear, there are actually 3 or 4 capillary veins meeting back there that drop down into that large jugular that you usually think of. That's what we want. We want to just puncture, put this back here, and we're starting to figure out what's going on, we haven't really done any triage. That's a French word. That's sometime in the early 19th century. Has nothing to do with where I am. Drip, 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 drip. Oh, eventually spill it on the grass, put a piece of cloth